friends, it's Victoria from Victoria Makes. Today I'm going to have a little chat about well-being and mindfulness and approaching January. Now, we've all had a wonderful Christmas and I hope you have had a lovely Christmas too. I don't know how you feel, but after Christmas I tend to get a little low. We've had a beautiful time, we've seen friends and families, haven't we? And everything's decorated all beautifully. Then we have to take the decorations down and the house can often look very bare. Friends and family aren't coming round, we're not having any parties, we're not being together as much, and the winter is here and the cold sets in and things can look a little drab, and that's when the happiness levels can drop. So we need to focus on something to get us through that time. And so that's what I'm actually going to have a little chat about today, and how to get through the time until the spring. How to keep our happiness levels up. Well, obviously professionals all tell us that we need to get out and do exercise and think about well-being. That's happened from time immemorial, hasn't it? We've had yoga and hike and well-being and what makes you happy. So we need to look at that more in detail, I think, and to say, let's be mindful of that this year. So January, we often say, oh, we're going to make a New Year's resolution. Sometimes we break those very, very quickly, but sometimes we keep them. So it's looking to the future and setting some kind of goal. Now, I like to create a journal so I can put little things in there, notes as I go along, maybe drawings, snippets of positivity. It's a personal thing, isn't it, a journal? So I'm going to be making a journal with you soon, and we can start that process together from things that you've got in the house, old books or pieces of cardboard and any pretty paper and cards from Christmas, snippets of information that I've found in magazines, newspapers around, pictures, designs, even paintings, that I can take the journal with me and paint a scene where I'm out. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece either, a piece of art or a drawing or a sketch. It's an individual journal that you actually then put your thoughts down on paper, and over the course of the year you can sort of reflect on different things and ideas that you've put in that journal. So it is a great way of jotting things down, and almost like a resolution, keep coming back to it and seeing if you can achieve it, improve it, ditch it, whatever, So please join me on that journal process as well. I've said about setting some goals. Often you might say, oh, I want to lose 6 stone. I want to be a millionaire. I want to, have a huge house. Goals are great, and, to have a large goal for the future is fantastic. It's also good to try and steer yourself towards a goal, and then you can be moving in the right direction. But also it's very, very good to set yourself small goals that are achievable in a short space of time, to keep you going, to keep you focused, to keep moving forward. And also little goals, when they are achieved, means that there's some positivity and some gains to be had from that. So that's really, really good. So what you want to be doing is looking at your life, seeing the things that you want to do in the next year and jotting things down. Things that you've achieved already, that's fantastic. Things that you want to achieve this year, put everything down that you can think of. You're not going to achieve them all, but again, certain things you will achieve along the way. And then in like 6 months, you might not want to achieve those anyway. You might have changed your mind. You might have gone in a different direction. That's all cool. That's the process of it. There's no test here. It's just a progression, isn't it? Write down those goals and what we want to achieve. Okay, that's personal to you and you alone or your family. Now, they say that for mindfulness and mental well-being, it's good to get out, and I really strongly believe that. I love walking out in the countryside, getting out in open spaces. Wherever you are, it's good to be amongst green. Trees, woodland, parkland, a piece of land, footpath over the farmer's field. Wherever you are, if you can get out and get walking and get breathing fresh air, it blows the cobwebs away, and there is so much truth in that. So wherever you are, if you can get out somewhere and just enjoy a walk, it really does you good. Programmes on the television, and one that I love is on BBC4, and it's the walking in the countryside. There's some famous people on them, and it's a BBC4 programme. It's currently on at 7 p.m. at night, and they are repeated. I'd look out for that, because people on this BBC programme, they talk about their experience on the walk, how they handle mental well-being. Some of them have mental issues, and they say that walking really helps them, and it does help everybody, for exercise purposes, for being in a open space, for being able to think about things in a private space in the open, which frees your mind of all the clutter and the stress that you may have in a small space, be it in a home space, a workspace, wherever, and you can actually think things at your own pace and through. So it is proven fact that if you get out in the open, obviously it makes you feel better. So the more you can get out and have a walk, however long it is, the better. So wander outside in the countryside, breathe in that fresh air, deep breaths, and get out. Another thing that I thought would be great in the new year is to join a new club or to start a new activity. So if you're not involved in any clubs at the minute, think about something that really interests you, something that you do now or that you used to do and then you really loved. And if you've got something in mind right now, see if you can join a club in your spare time and be involved in a club as well, so that you're enjoying it, you're getting out, you're mixing with people, and you're having fun as well at the same time, doing something that you love. And if you're taking time out of the week to do something that you really like, that's going to do you good anyway, isn't it? And it's going to give you that social interaction with people. You're going to do your crafts, or you're going to do whatever it is, and you're taking time out and you're slotting a certain amount of time in the week to do that activity. It's all good for your well-being as well. Plus it's starting something new. Or what about doing something that years and years ago you wanted to do, some kind of activity, but you weren't allowed, or you couldn't afford it, or there wasn't the facilities to learn that then. So think about something that you've never done that you can do now. So maybe try a totally new activity. What about trying something out of your comfort zone, something that you would never think that you would do, something that could be totally something that you're not interested in, because you know what, sometimes those are the activities that you blow your mind. They basically think, oh gosh, I can't do that. There's no way I would be able to do that. But you join a club and find out, hey, you can. And that would be really good for your well-being as well, wouldn't it? So, something totally the opposite of what you think you could do. So you might be a very, very light person and you think there's no way you could do something like martial arts, for example, to throw somebody over your shoulder, But if you go and join that class and they show you, you'll be absolutely amazed that maybe you actually can do something like that. Or, you are overweight and you think, there's no way I can do a running club. But you join it and you do a little bit of jogging, you start walking, and then in a couple of months you're starting jogging, and then in a couple of months you're starting running. It might only be like 10 yards, but you actually then start slowly and building it up. And then over a course of a few years, you're running, and it's an amazing what the actual mind and body can actually physically do. Or if you have mobility problems, there might be an exercise online or a chair exercise club that you can actually join that actually gets you moving. And you may actually be able to physically do that. So there may be something that you can physically or mentally do that you haven't done yet, that's out there. So have a think about that and see if you can challenge yourself, or maybe enjoy yourself, so that you can actually do all these lovely things and activities that are there. So that's all about sort of try and make January a little bit more happier, a little bit more fulfilling, and not as depressing as it can well be. I always think it's a little bit of a dull time, and I've got to sort of think about decluttering the house, packing away the Christmas decorations, and taking time to think, right, okay then, so it's going to be bare, it's going to look a little bit sad, but traditionally spring cleaning, in spring, I bring that forward and I think I'm going to do spring cleaning in January. It's not spring, but it's an ideal time to declutter and to have a little look. So at the moment I've still got all my Christmas decorations out. But before I put them all back in the box, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check through everything that's in the boxes now that's been put away upstairs. Bring them down and say, I've not used those this year. Why haven't I used those this year? Well, some of them I haven't used because I usually decorate the outside of my house. But this year I didn't feel like I wanted to do that, or I couldn't be bothered with it, or I hadn't got time to do it. That's fine. Not a problem at all, but next year might do. So those things that I would have used I will keep, but all the other things that are in the box and haven't been used, I'm going to take those down to the charity shop. So I've got a box on the side as I pack my Christmas things away to say, do I really need those and do I really want them? Have I always wanted those? I've not used them, but do I want to keep them? So we'll have the boxes to pack away, and we'll have a box or a bag on the side to put things in which is still lovely and can go to the charity shop. Or if there's anything that's broken, can I utilise that in something else? Can I make a craft out of that because it's broken but it's not ready for the bin? I can do something with it. Or if it got to go in the bin, it goes in the bin. Simple as that. So we're going to pack the Christmas decorations away. We're going to be mindful of the Christmas decorations, what we've got. Do we need them all? And if we don't need them all, let's get them to the charity shop. Let's clean the house and declutter the house. And we're going to be really busy doing that. So if we're going to be really, really busy, it's going to be quite good for our mindfulness. So a busy mind doesn't allow us to get depressed or low. And also the results from cleaning the house and getting rid of all these things that we don't necessarily need anymore actually will free the mind up as well, because there's nothing like clutter, which is chaotic. I am a maximalist. And each year try and declutter a little bit, to free the mind, because otherwise things get on top of you. There's too much going off, and that can actually get you down as well. So always be thinking about, can I get rid of stuff? Can I declutter? The charity shops need our things as well. We're all going to have to pay an absolutely extortionate amount of money in gas and energy bills from this month. I think so many charities are struggling because people are not able to donate and hundreds of pounds anymore. So if we can just give them all our things that we don't need, hopefully they can generate more income through their charity shops than on their online donations probably. So, it's being mindful about, let's try and declutter, let's try and get some space in our homes for what we don't need. Give them the charity shop, let them benefit it, of course. So that's a great thing to do at the moment as well. So also, can we save money now? Because as I said before, we've got huge bills coming, guys. They've gone up so much, and from January the energy bills have pretty much gone up by probably 2/3 again. It's going to be absolutely crazy, isn't it? So it's a case of cutting back and trying to see if we can save money everywhere. So I'm going to be looking at what's in the fridge and doing some cheap alternative cooking. I'm going to also be making things out of what we've got and giving you ideas of having fun that's not going to cost you anything or a huge amount of money either. When you go out, if you think that, it's boring to go walks, if you're just walking around the streets or you're not walking in a beautiful place, how about getting some podcasts or some music in your ears playing, which will then make sure that you will be walking for a lot longer because you're enjoying your favourite music and tracks. Get a sort of playlist of favourite music tracks together and play that when you're out walking, and then hopefully that will encourage you to walk a bit further. That's going to be good for your well-being, and also your health. If you are going to start on a new routine of walking, try and get a free step app, which will record all your steps throughout the day. You'll be amazed how many steps you do accrue through walking generally, just pottering about in the house, up and down the stairs, and just doing your thing throughout the day. If you're going to go sort of late in the evening and you've got your favourite track on, doesn't matter, does it? If you're sort of jiggling about and enjoying yourself, happy days. Happy days. So yeah, try and do some steps to music and help yourself with that. That increases your endorphins and makes you more happier as well. Exercise is great for you. There's a lot of things that go off in winter that you might not know about, and if you can go on your social media apps, it often tells you what's happening in your area. So in winter there's all sorts of things going off on certain days, and there's like New Year's Day, for example, there's lots of things going off. It could be like a mass swim, for example, where at your local beaches loads of people run into the water. I've seen like, you know, duck races and various things. Well, sailing's coming up as well, so for the winter solstice there were sailing activities were cancelled, so in January there's quite a few if you have a little look at that, and they're all nice just to get involved in. So have a little look on social media and see if there's anything going on in your area and try and go to it, because you know that social interaction, getting to a place where it's a public event is always a nice experience and one to go to. And there's a lot of them that are free as well, so I'd recommend doing something like that as well. Also make sure that you go out for walks and get that light as well, because it's quite a low light, isn't it, now in the winter, and that actually a lot of people are affected by light and sad. If you get out in the daylight, it is the most effective way to get your biological rhythm into sync, and you can also feel more alert in the day and sleep in the evening if you're going outside, even if it's only 10 minutes a day. It sort of gets you in that routine, and if you can get up and go to bed at the certain same time roughly each day, you know, your body is getting into a rhythm, and it does work a lot better. They also advise us to eat within a 12-hour period, so if you're getting up at 7 for breakfast, don't eat anything really after 7 p.m. at night, and drink plenty of water as well, and also 6 to 8 glasses of water a day, and that can include herbal teas or vegetable juices. Even teas and coffees can have a diuretic effect. If you drink coffee and tea, go on to decaf coffee and tea in the afternoons, so it won't hopefully affect you and keep you up all night. And also be careful of fizzy pop as well, because I've found that fizzy pop has an effect on me and it stops me from sleeping at night. So I don't know what it is in fizzy pop, but that's a bit of a nuisance as well if you have fizzy pop at night. Small changes can really add up. People who wake up early in the day tend to have less depression. This might be because of the exposure to bright early light. If you can't walk, just step outside for a few minutes and look, you know, at the trees or green areas, listen to the birds, focus on the natural surroundings. Or if it's just that you're in like a high-rise flat or buildings where there isn't any trees or greenery around, look up at the sky, take deep breaths in, and makes you a little bit more calmer. I read that if you can start a new type of stretching or walking, or 5 minutes of like lunges and squats and press-ups 3 times a week, and walk outside a little each day, it really helps your well-being. So it's small steps, isn't it? Small things, good for the mindfulness. Have you got a good sleep pattern? How many hours of sleep do you have each night? I remember years ago that Margaret Thatcher was saying that she was having 5 hours, and a lot of politicians say that they only have 5 hours sleep. Crikey, I need 8 to 10 hours sleep every day. I'm more like a zombie really. So I need my sleep. I think most people average out about 8 to 10 hours of sleep a day, don't they? And the optimum is 8 hours, they say. All experts agree that going to sleep at the same time and getting up at the same time plays this key role in our healthy sleep pattern. If you wake up in the middle of the night and try to get back to sleep for a long time, just get up, come downstairs and just get yourself a warm drink. And if you've got something on your mind that is going round and round, etc., get up and jot all those thoughts down, because by doing that, psychologically you're releasing the thoughts from your mind. So when you go back upstairs, you think, well, those important things are now down on paper, I can sort those out in the morning, I can rest now. Otherwise, we've heard that, counting sheep works and all that sort of thing. So, calming music, being warm, having a warm drink. We were told years ago to have a nice warm cocoa drink or a milky drink. That'll help us sleep. But whatever you feel like doing, that should be good for you. Being relaxed really helps. They also say to switch off any devices. Don't go on your mobile phone for up to about 2 hours before you go to bed. Otherwise you won't sleep. I don't know about that, because I know someone who does actually watch YouTube videos before they go to bed and go to sleep, and they seem to go to sleep all right. So things do affect different people differently, don't they? But that's the kind of thing. Or have a nice warm bath. If you've had a bad night's sleep, it says go a little walk in the morning, that should help. Also, it says if you're really, really tired in the morning, maybe have an afternoon nap about 1 to 3 o'clock for half an hour, if you can. Another thing I think that helps your well-being is to be chatty and to be friendly and get amongst people. Be sociable. It's good for your health to have a good natter with others. Science has proven that connections between other humans strengthen health and physical well-being. It's proven fact. If we get, chatting to each other, it helps our mental well-being. Have a nice cup of tea with another person. Talk and laugh with them. Connect with others and listen, and actively try not to interrupt too much. And listen, get involved with people. Because going and chatting to somebody, it does make your day. You go home, you think, oh yeah, that was nice. Nice to see her again. She was lovely, and she's done this and that. Oh, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. I feel really happy now. I've seen someone, I've talked to someone. Even if you're going home to be on your own, that social interaction while you're being out helps you, doesn't it, throughout the day. You can also, as I said before, join a class or group and get involved with people. That will help you interact more. Also, make new friends. If you're new to an area, there's nothing like joining a new club, joining the church, going into the library, finding out where things are happening and getting involved. If you make the first step and you're really, really chatty and friendly to people, generally speaking, they'll be chatty and friendly back to you. Nothing comes to you if you don't sort of help yourself. Lots of people in the community are openly friendly. It's really hard to walk through for the first time, but you'll find somebody there that will be very accommodating and very friendly and help you and soon you'll overcome that fear. It's just that first initial thing, isn't it, that walking into a place and being brave enough to go to somewhere new. But once you join up, you usually find that you're part of that group after a while, and that's lovely to join a new group and then become part of it. It's making that first step, and that's being brave and sometimes putting yourself out of the comfort zone to do that, but you actually then find that you've enjoyed it. Don't just not go again. Push yourself, get yourself out of that comfort zone, try new things, try them for a few times, because if you are a shy person, that often is very, very difficult to actually overcome that shyness and actually join a group. But once you do it and you push yourself for many times, you'll probably find that you're really, really enjoying it. So well-being and mental health, this is what we're going to be chatting about and doing for this month. I hope you've enjoyed listening to me, and I hope you'll join me with all the next videos that I'm going to do, which comes under the umbrella of January Wellbeing and Renewal, looking at the future, setting ourselves a few goals, trying to keep happy, positive throughout the winter, and being a brighter space, creating a brighter environment for ourselves and our families and friends. So I'm going to go away now. I'm going to try and do some decluttering. I'm going to sort of box all these Christmas decorations up and get things in a pile. I'm going to try and go through the house bit by bit over the next few months and declutter, see if we really need them, and try and clean and make things fresh and new again this year. Please leave that comment below of something that you would do, and we can share that with others to inspire everybody in this group. And thank you for watching, and hopefully you will go away and find a few bits now and clear up and declutter, and let's get a bit busy and make this sort of low sort of month a little bit more positive, happier, cleaner, and a success. Thanks for watching. Bye now.